Well, everybody, we're back for take two of round one. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're starting this over again. That's what I'm meaning to say. But last week we recorded, and it was just technical issue upon technical issue. And we thought we made it through. We waited for everything to upload, and then we couldn't export anything. We couldn't get anything out. Cookie was lucky to get a couple clips.
I got 2 clips before it all started falling apart, and one of them had nothing to do with the show. It was just a funny one about me, but which was kind of pointless because I wanted more about the topic at hand, which was MS, because it's MS Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that aren't on our social media and only watch us on YouTube, and maybe we can include a little. I mean, it's not a big deal at this point, but we can include the image I posted that kind of showed all the failed attempts within Riverside. And I mean, you tried, I think, what, 10 to 13 times to export the
different, the main one. The only good thing about it is it failed quickly.
Yeah, it didn't make you wait.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you tried to export the full thing. It's somewhere between 10 and 13 times, and it failed every time. I tried multiple clips, including one that I really, really wanted and still couldn't get.
Yeah.
And it failed. I tried it 10 to 15 times, and it just failed every time until we finally just gave up. Probably should have given up sooner.
I couldn't even get the good thing about Riverside is you can export the Premiere Pro timeline, and I added everything, and I know Cookie uses Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
It would have taken a lot longer, but it wouldn't have been able to do it. It wouldn't even do that. It just kept spinning.
Yeah, no, and it's a bummer, but it is what it is. And I'm not even going to say we. I'm going to say John. This is typical John. Was ready to just shred Riverside to pieces.
Oh yeah,
we were.
I was about to get defensive, but no, you're right.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I was kind of with him on it a bit, but I also, and I said this to John, I just had a sneaky suspicion that something
it was one bit of it
had to do with what the problem was, and turns out that was the issue. And so, it is. In all fairness,
I had to chase them down hard just for the most minor of answers.
Yeah, I will say we've actually talked about this before, and we do love Riverside. This was not their issue this time. Of the technical problems, but they do have an issue, and we probably should go ahead and address it. And I won't say it's customer service. That's not the issue. It's technical service.
Mm-hmm.
The AI bot doesn't do shit, because I was trying that with the issues I was having with the failed exports. I never even got to the point of talking to a human.
Yeah, I just kept like I copied and pasted human.
Yeah, you went the full throttle with finally talking to a human. And to their credit, like, it took a while, and I don't know how many people work for the company, so maybe as big as it is, and podcasts way bigger than us, including New Heights and all those are
honestly, I think they're growing faster than they can really
handle. What I was going to get at.
Because of New Heights, and it came out, it was their thing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at. I don't know how many people they have working for them, and I would say give me a job, but I'm not smart enough to do the shit that they're doing here. So.
You're smart enough to talk to a human on the other end.
Yeah, but I'm not smart enough to be able to tell them what's wrong.
Cookie, they couldn't tell me what was wrong.
Eventually they did, though. So it just took a while. And by the time they kind of figured out what I kind of suspected all along, it didn't matter anymore. We were moving on, and that's what today's about. And
the most disappointing part about this for me is it was such a good surprise of who our guest was going to be.
Oh, yeah. That's the part that everybody's missing is John. I won't say pranked me, but it kind of was a prank.
I think I still have that part, though.
Probably.
And the first part I was able to keep.
Because, that was the clip. That was one of the clips we were able to do.
Oh, yeah. So we do have, at least have.
Out there. People have seen that. I don't know if we ever posted on YouTube yet, but we can. Is John.
I don't think we did any shorts for this one.
No, we could still post it, though. Yeah. It's out there. We have it. We can put it up on YouTube, but. So by the time you're seeing this, it may already be out there, so you can get to see what we're talking about. But yeah, John pranked me a little bit. He'd been messing with me for a day and a half about a special guest, and I guessed once and I was wrong. I think I guessed twice and I was wrong. And I would have been thrilled with any of my guesses, and I was even more thrilled when I saw who it was.
The best part about it is I think Cookie, you're quite a bit over my shit now because of all the surprises I do. My issue is that like I have an idea, and if I don't implement it, I'll forget it because I'm terrible at writing notes, or I'll write a note down and forget I wrote the note. So I just keep throwing shit at Cookie, and thankfully he hasn't killed me yet. But
I guess he hasn't figured out that, you know, when he has the idea, all he has to do is text me real quick while the idea is fresh, instead of 2 or 3 days later when we're recording going, hey, guess what? This is the end of season 1. You son of a bitch.
Well, Cookie, to your defense, that thought never crossed my mind until you just said that just now.
Yeah.
You just watched this become a light bulb
By the
moment.
way, I have all of these hosts for the music show. Okay, we're doing a music show.
Let's get back to that part.
Yeah.
And the music show, just, you know, for those, I know we have done a couple reaction shorts real quick. We're just kind of testing the water. The music thing is, again, we talked about this before. We want to do it right. We want to make it, want to make it professional and solid. On the other side is we got to be careful who we're doing stuff for, because copyright will eviscerate us. And especially when it comes to YouTube, is you have to be very careful with that kind of stuff. So
anybody that's ever watched any, you know, reactor videos to songs, and, you know, whether you're talking about Charismatic Voice or anybody like that, and if you get annoyed with how often they're pausing to talk about it, well, there's two parts of it. Yes, they're going to pause, especially Charismatic Voice, because she's, with her background, she's going to talk about the stuff, you know, the actual technical side of things, but they're also having to pause that much to try and avoid the copyright issues. Just FYI.
Yeah, YouTube can't quite pick it up.
There's a few of them that will explain that as they're going along, but they don't always. So if you're one of those watching that and you're getting annoyed that they're pausing things a lot, yes, they want to talk about things, but also it's a way of trying to get by any copyright issues. It doesn't always work, but...
By the way, she recently reacted to, remember when we were talking about the photography stuff, I got the photo of the singer flipping me off and put it in there. She actually reacted to that band. And it was the video where she reacted to that band while she sleeps. And it's where she kept crying because of the message in the song in the video. And I was like, holy crap, she's doing while she sleeps. And then when I realized the song, I was like, oh no, because I know she's also very like, she's very much an empath and stuff like that. And I was like, this is gonna, if there's any triggers underlying here.
Oh yeah.
And she cried a lot in that video. But like I said, someone like her of such an absolutely stellar background in opera.
I want to get her on here so bad. Like she
might.
She might, yeah.
Because I mean, she's taken her shot with big time musicians and got them on.
She gets it. She gets it.
But welcome back to the ADD hour. We did it again. But we do have Julie back this week after we tried to surprise Cookie last week. And with all the issues.
It did surprise me, and it wasn't a try.
Yeah, true.
And again, that's the one clip we have.
So, I mean, that part worked out. But we do have Julie back with us. And the good thing about MS is she's probably forgot a lot about what we talked about. So it's going to be like a whole new interview anyway.
And I have no reason not to. If you believe what she told us a couple days later when we were explaining the technical problems, she had already forgotten everything she said. So we're good.
Yeah. So second time for me and Cookie, first time again for Julie. But Julie, again, as we know, has her book about her living with MS. She's also a humongous activist out in the West Coast there. And she's just one of those people that while living with MS is constantly doing something, keeping her feet moving, keeping her fitness going as best as she can, and hiding from the world.
She's a yoga instructor still through all this.
Hiding from the world what it's really like living with this. And so we're going to talk about a lot of stuff in this, which I keep saying again, but it'll be a first time for everybody watching this because nobody else knows.
Yeah.
But so without further ado, once again, Julie Blue.
Guys.
I didn't mean for that to rhyme either. I should be a rapper.
Yeah, you really should. That's what you're talking about.
I don't want to be the technical difficulty. Okay.
Okay.
Well, as we were saying, when we were welcoming Julie back for the second time, Julie, we had a little fun at your expense before by saying where me and Cookie will be saying like again or acting like we asked this question before. But then we remembered how you probably didn't remember the questions because of the MS we're here to talk about. So this will be a fresh interview for everybody but two of us, including anybody who's watching. But we explained a little bit of technical difficulties and things we want to cover. And Cook, I think Cookie's got the light of God shining down on him now.
What happened there?
We're about to watch him rise through the ceiling. Like, Cookie ain't going to heaven. What the heck am I talking about?
Oh, way before you, dude.
Doesn't matter. You still ain't going.
What is going on here?
It's Mercury retrograde.
It's,
I don't know what else to tell you.
Gatorade in the microwave. What can I say?
We need to get figure this. Now I'm hearing noises behind me. What is happening?
Cookie's house is haunted. How we feeling, Cookie?
I'm only halfway through drink one and I'm already hearing shit. Like, what are we doing here?
What are you drinking? Straight absinthe over there?
Jesus. All right.
And we're back.
Woohoo.
But we are back here again with Julie Blue. We talked to her last season when we talked about her book and her living with MS. Today, we're going to kind of do a bit of a recap on that. Also, just talk about different parts of the MS community, as I have some questions about it. And I'll be very careful and specific on how I ask these questions. But, I also am the one kind of making excuses for a lot of it and the whole scheme of things. But first things first, it's been since what, maybe July, August since we had Julie on?
I think it was August. Yeah, or September even. Maybe it was
If
August.
only we had a way to research that.
I'm doing it right now. Shut up.
I was making fun of myself as I'm not doing that.
Especially since we literally talked about this in the first attempt at this, and we have already forgotten that we could have looked this up.
That day never happened.
God, weird.
Maybe you guys should get your brains checked.
Mine's already broken, Julie.
Just kidding.
We're not.
No.
Keep going. I'm just looking. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I was sitting here all quiet. So yeah, we had Julie. We talked to Julie in the summer.
7 months ago.
Guy actually doesn't even feel like that long. I was gonna say a couple months.
Yeah.
But we talked to Julie in the summer, in the middle of an Arizona summer too, which is just great for people with MS. And so give us a bit of an update since the summer. Like, what have you been doing? How are we feeling? How are we managing those kind of things? I know the how are we feeling question is always.
It is. It's like, or the how are you?
Yeah.
I'm feeling fairly good physically. I made it through another summer. This would be number 33, which is insane. A lot of back and forth to California, still running, doing all the things, yoga. I'm unable to do hot yoga anymore, but that's okay. I don't need to do that anyways.
Is that still popular? Because I remember when hot yoga came about and it was just all the craze.
It's still pretty popular. Hot yogis are a breed.
What about the goat yoga and stuff like that?
I've never done goat yoga or puppy yoga. Or
let me tell you, puppy yoga, I would do 8 classes a day of puppy yoga.
Really? It's so cute. I mean, it's really cute. But okay, so what do you want to know how I'm doing mentally? Still but physically good, mentally getting better. I finally found some people that can help me deal with my trauma, my brain fog, all that. I started fundraising again in September. It's going slow, but it's going. My 40th high school reunion is coming up in October. And I am so grateful for all of my high school friends that have been donating, because those donations came in like crazy last week.
Cookie, you just had your 60th, right?
Shut up, dude. I had my 30th.
You guys are way younger than me. Come on.
I had my 30th this past summer. Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's fun, huh?
I didn't go.
You didn't go.
I wanted to. kind of little backstory on that. It's
The
hard.
fear is if Cookie goes back to that town, he's never leaving.
I won't leave. Yeah, it's my high school is in Lake Placid, New York, so it's not the easiest kind of travel. So yeah, every year I try and get back. I mean, frankly, as John knows, every year I've tried to get a job back at my old high school, coaching and teaching, but it hasn't happened yet. So it's my happy place. I just don't get there nearly enough. I've been there probably 5 times in the last 30 years.
Oh, I give Cookie crap, but I every time I agree with him. It's an amazing place up there. It's in the Adirondacks.
It's a special place.
Yep. So it's an amazing place.
Yeah.
So
I was back for my 10 year and my 20 year. I did not make it to my 30 year.
I haven't gone to any of my reunions.
I missed 10, 20, and my 30th, I was actually diagnosed with MS a month prior.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was like all excited to go, and you show everyone how, awesome I looked, Miss Yoga instructor. And then I got literally my ass kicked almost 30 days prior. So my 40th should be a little bit different. Nothing else is going to.
No, it's all good.
Me.
You might have told us this when you talked with us last time. How long were you having symptoms and issues before you got diagnosed?
It was very quickly. I mean, it was like within 28 days that they were, giving me bags of IV steroids. So it happened fast, and I went in for a colonoscopy. I think I've discussed that before. And I woke up to my daughter, poking me in the arm. I'm like, why are you in here? And she said they couldn't wake you. The symptoms started just like right after brain fog, my leg, I went running in the heat. My right leg stopped working, and I kept going to the doctors, and they kept telling me I was fine. And I'm like, you guys, you see what I do. Like, you see all the things I physically do, and I can't hold my leg up. Don't tell me I'm fine. And then I went to a chiropractor. He didn't adjust me, said it was muscular. And then after I took some time off, not much time, 10 days from running and practicing yoga, I went back to yoga, and I got out of hot yoga. My left arm was weird. So now I'm shaking my left arm. My right, you should have seen me walking around my house, like holding up my right leg and just watching it fall. And and then I went back to yoga. My left arm was weird. I woke up the next morning, went back to hot yoga. And when I left hot yoga this time, my whole left side went numb. So I went straight to the ER. This was 3 weeks, 21 days after after my colonoscopy, after the onset of my symptoms. And I went to Mayo Clinic the following week and was given 5 bags of IV steroids and a diagnosis. And
that's pretty quick.
It's very quick.
Because you hear about people where they'll be diagnosed with everything, and then the doctor will be like, oh, actually, no, we were wrong, and it's this, and this. Or I know a lot of people with MS have other ailments also as well. Like a lot of people with MS have like POTS or EDS and stuff like that. So doctors oftentimes will just kind of lean on those things until they realize it's something more. So to be diagnosed in 30 days it almost sounds like record timing.
I mean, it was, and I do credit a lot of my physical success with getting those steroids in me right away to stop the attack. Like, Selma Blair went 7 years being attacked. And so if you don't stop that attack with the steroids, it continues, and it can cause all sorts of symptoms and damage, when it's not stopped or you're not medicated, if that's what, you're doing. So I do believe that my yoga background, and I mean, I tell you to listen to your body. Like, that's what I do when I teach. Like, if your knee hurts and I tell you to do something on your knee, you're the idiot for doing it, not me, because I suggested it, right? Like, I say this to my students all the time. Like, I'm going to do 1,000,000 chaturangas, which are push-ups in class, because I love them, and that's just what I do. But if your shoulders are hurting and then you do that, that's just stupidity. So I think the fact that I really am very in tune to my physical body, I was able to, I kept going back to the doctors. I kept going back and telling them I'm not fine. And then when they did the CAT scan at the hospital, the doctor said, go get an MRI, because realistically, that's really the only way you can tell. You can do spinal taps too, that can confirm it, but you're not going to get it from an x-ray. You're not going to get it from blood work. You are literally going to get it from an MRI. And this, this massive group that I moderate, so many people put their like scans up and they're like, what does my scan say? Ask your doctor. I don't know. Like, I can't diagnose you.
Well, it's crazy. They actually have pictures of their scans and they didn't ask when they had the chance.
Right. Well, and I just think it's, a lot of people, medically it gets hard for a lot of people. And, because they trust implicitly, they trust these doctors. They trust what they're saying, because why wouldn't they, right?
Yeah.
And it's not always, doctors do not always have your best interest at heart. And I hate to say that, but I've dealt with a lot of doctors. I mean, I have all sorts of doctors that I see: eye doctors, skin doctors, girl doctors, internists, neurologists, therapists. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And, some of them honestly are just looking to prescribe you something, and some of them actually pause and listen. And I've really done some due diligence in finding my doctors, and I've been very fortunate. So
is there along those lines, obviously there's any number of databases for doctors so people can go find this and that. Is there a specific MS database for doctors that are, for lack of a better term, doing it the right way? I mean, that can be shared amongst the MS community?
I don't think so. I don't know though, but I do know that, I have, in the almost 10 years since I've been, sick or whatever, I hate that word, but I've seen at least 7 neurologists, at least 7, if not more. And that's not even including their fellows. And I have walked out of offices. I have found some amazing doctors. I did have an amazing neurologist. He retired. So that's been a little challenging for me, because he was very supportive and very understanding. And, he listened to what I was saying. And that's, I think, what's so hard is they don't always listen to what you're saying.
Yeah, I've actually, sorry, Cookie, real quick, is because it's part of your question. So before, when I was first learning about this, there's a couple people talking about that, and I actually asked about the same kind of thing, like jokingly even said it was like a Yelp for these kind of doctors, where people can go and leave reviews and stuff. And I guess the issue is it's very problematic to do that to people in the medical community, because there's not a lot of doctors that are able to specialize in MS yet, because a lot of things they're learning is, in the grand scheme of things, new of what they're learning about it. But there's also a lot of doctors that are really popular when it comes to MS. Like one doctor I can think of is Dr. Boster.
Yes, I've heard of him.
Is his name? I think he's in Ohio or something like that. And people will fly from all over the country and Canada to go see this doctor, just because not only his proficiency in all this, but I guess he's great with his patients, which is for something like this, you can't have a deadpan doctor for that kind of thing. But
and that's kind of where I was getting with this, is because I can go locally and look up, any doctors that are in my network, and I can read patient reviews to learn all about them. That's general practice stuff for, someone like me. But if you're in a specific community like the MS community, and you need to know who knows what they're doing, first of all, and who, is in it for the right reasons, there should be some way of having a place where an MS patient can go and look these people up. And I mean, it just seems like common sense to me. And that you could say the same for someone with breast cancer or testicular cancer, or any number of things. It just seems like there should be a spot you can go and say, this is what I'm dealing with. Who do I need to go see? And have that information accessible.
I mean, there could be. I'm just not aware of it. But because of my connection with the Race to Race MS and their team of doctors, which are, top doctors, I was very lucky I could cherry pick literally from these doctors. And that's, I had my doctor from USC who I just absolutely adored. And then he left. So I'm now seeing the woman that, she's been on the board too, but she's the one at USC and with your scans, you want your scans read on the same machine because that's the way you can. So I will always do my scans at USC and I will always see the doctors at USC because I feel very comfortable with those doctors. I've had a very hard time finding a neurologist here in Phoenix. And just because if there's an emergency or something and I need to get in, it's been hard. And I actually, it's been very interesting.
Well, isn't the Mayo Clinic's pretty big with MS there in Phoenix, isn't it?
They don't take my insurance.
God,
isn't that crazy? But I can go to USC in California and they take my insurance.
See, we had this was part of what we lost in the last attempt at this is we're going to have probably a whole episode at some point just purely about the insurance side of this and what an absolute nightmare.
That's such a crazy, because the person who introduced me, so to speak, to MS, I told you lives north of Phoenix. She goes down to the Mayo Clinic. And that's where she goes to get her. I don't think she gets her treatment there anymore. I think they have like other places she can go and do her treatments now. But which is also a cool thing. I feel like you just need to go and get your infusions done. Right. You don't have to go all the way back. But
so just real quick, just to give you guys an idea, as we've been talking, I was doing some search, and on the National MS Society webpage, there is an area where you can find doctors and resources.
Okay.
The problem I have with it, and I just did locally here in Springfield, Missouri, and there's a decent amount, actually. There's quite a few. I'm not going to count them, but there's probably, looks like over 20 just in the area. But the problem is there isn't that patient review, like people that have gone to these people. There isn't something in there that tells like what their bedside manner is like and things like that. It's just, it gives a list of their payments accepted, their language is spoken, and the one piece that says experience working with patients with MS, and it just says yes. That's it.
Well, here you go, Cookie. Let's get cracking. This idea is now copywritten because we do have a date and stamp and we're talking about it here. But you're right. It's absolutely an important thing because there's a lot of people, especially going through something as emotionally draining as finding out you have this.
Well, and I will say part of the little search on the National MS website, it includes one of the click down menus is what are you looking for? Is it healthcare? Is it emotional support? I mean, there's a big list. And again, but the only issue I have is once you go and click on one of these doctors, it doesn't give you any, other patient referrals, even if they're anonymous, to say this person's awesome, this person sucks, this whatever. There's none of that. It's just the basic info of here's the payments and insurance they'll take. Have they ever worked with MS patients? Yes, but what does that tell you? Maybe one? Who knows? I mean, it's.
So are these MS specialists? Because what I did, it doesn't say that.
It doesn't say that.
It just says they've worked with.
Yes.
Okay. And so that's, for example, I've been looking for a neuropsychologist to help me with my trauma and someone that actually understands the cognitive issues that I deal with MS. And I went on some site and I was able to plug in the things that I was looking for. And it actually kicked back to one person, hit all three of those things. And I got on Google and that's what I'm asking. So can you take these names, get on Google, and maybe there's Yelp reviews or something like that?
I'm sure you can. And that's fine. I'm sure that's a possibility. And again, neuropsychologist is one of the things you can look for under the healthcare providers, as I'm looking at it again. As far as Springfield, Missouri goes, nothing.
But
Well,
yeah, an
look
MS
at
specific
Fayetteville, Arkansas.
database, it would be good for something like that because you know
be.
something like this is anxiety inducing.
But what I'm saying is, and I understand you can go, like you were saying, you can go find the names of these people, and I'm not going to call anybody out on here because they haven't listed a name of
Dr. Smith, you're garbage.
person in Fayetteville, Arkansas that does the psychology and counseling under the neuropsychology stuff. But I shouldn't have to copy and paste this doctor's name into Google to find out more info. It should all be part of, and I love that the National MS Society has this, but there's not enough. There's not enough info on here, in my opinion.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like when you get something like this and your anxiety goes up, like it's when someone's anxiety, I mean, we all know this, when your anxiety is that high, thinking of something as simple as copying, pasting their name into Google to find reviews, that doesn't click.
Well, and
It's
making your anxiety worse because you're trying to find info and you're not finding info, and now your brain's just going even nuttier.
Yeah. So, I mean, and again, like I said, in the grand scheme of things, like especially the knowledge and awareness of MS is really only taken flight this much semi recently. And I say recently in years and stuff like that, but it's still a lot to be improved on as far as being diagnosed, being treated, and even finding the right doctors because like we've discussed before, the number of people being diagnosed with MS is skyrocketing, but it's because more people are being correctly diagnosed.
Yes.
And other people are going to the doctor instead of being like, oh, I'm just old, or this and this is just happening, and ignoring the thing. So the numbers are going up for the great reason of people are actually going. But
100% they are. Yeah.
Yeah. But a database would be essential.
I mean, that might be something that I bring up at our next race meeting, you know, and say is, you know, and ask them about it. Like, is there a database that, you know, because I think it would be excellent. I think patient reviews, and again, it's tricky, right? Because you don't want to, you know,
you don't want someone disgruntled just saying the guy's an asshole for the sake of being an asshole.
Right.
I mean, you need, you know, like we're going to talk about in a little bit with regards to, you know, social media groups and stuff. I mean, you need someone to moderate and say, is this person really calling this doctor a jerk because he really is, or because he just didn't like something that happened and now he's going to take it out on him. So I get it's a fine line, but it's still important information if it's done properly.
Not to initiate the think tank here, but I mean, there would have to be guidelines, like how many reviews before a doctor's information goes public.
Yeah, if you got 5 to 10 people saying the exact same thing, then there's probably a problem. But
or a great thing.
Yeah, that too.
Well, yeah. You know, if you've got 100 people saying this person's great and one person saying they're not, well,
then you can realize,
as we know, and I say this as someone that doesn't go to the doctor as often as I should, and when I say that, I'm saying never. So Julie's going to give me shit now. I know, but that's
still accurate.
You're
about
a typical
not
guy.
as often as you should.
You're a typical guy.
In some ways I am, yes, and mine isn't. So doctors don't faze me. I don't care. I mean, I've had plenty over the years with injuries and stuff. That doesn't bother me at all. It's just I just don't go. But I think it's I don't know. It's a personality thing too, like anything else. You know, you're going to click with one doctor, maybe not another. It doesn't mean that other doctor is not bad person. It's just and that's part of the process too. So I realize there's a lot of landmines involved in something like this, but I do still think, you know, if the option was there to have, you know, 100 reviews and you can go through them all and kind of you'll sense a pattern is essentially and know if that's what's going to be best for you or someone you love.
I agree.
Yeah, something that would be extremely beneficial. So if you're loaded with money and you work for an app development company, please contact me or Cookie at allanglspodcast.com.
Hey, look, I'm not trying to make money off this. This should be something that's on the National MS Society website. I mean, they've already got the base down. They've got the first part down with the lists of names, you know, and you can do it based on your zip code. It's now they just need that other piece.
It makes sense why the MS Society wouldn't have that, though, because they don't want their place to be a breeding ground of toxicity and hostility towards
these
doctors.
medical professionals. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, through their thing. So
yeah, there's a lot of pros and cons for sure, but I mean I got to think the pros far outweigh the cons when you're looking to find the right healthcare in that scenario.
you would hope.
You would hope.
But
It's not easy.
No,
Not
I'm
at
sure.
all.
Yeah.
But speaking of the toxicity part, Cookie, outstanding segue.
Why they pay me the big bucks.
Yeah, that's right. Your check's in the mail, I promise. But we've talked a little bit offline here about, there's a lot of social media groups that have a lot of people in them. I mean, you run a massive one.
I don't run it, but I'm a moderator for
You're a moderator,
It's
yeah.
the largest online MS group is what it is.
And there's how many members?
The last time I checked, I think there was 136,000.
Wow.
Just an enormous possible community there for people. And I've been in a couple of them where I was trying to learn about MS. Some of them are not for people without MS, which is always a funny thing to me, because for something that you're looking for understanding on that you might have, I feel like it's important to allow people in that are also trying to learn about it. Not so much as they're not going to be the doctor to help you or cure you or anything, but to have somebody else you can just say, hey, like this and this is happening. Somebody might know something, even if they don't have it.
Right.
And, the problem is, like any Facebook group, especially because I'm in photography Facebook groups, I'm in podcast Facebook groups, and it's different names, same dipshit mentality out of a lot of people, but they just want to start all the problems and all the issues. But the part where I almost kind of defend them, which I've been shut down for defending, is I've said this before, is these people live a life where they're out exercising, working full-time parents that have all the energy for their kids, go to sleep, wake up and do it again like it was nothing. And they all of a sudden reach a point in their life where they're diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and suddenly they're depleted on a minute-by-minute basis, where they could have gone all day. Now 5 minutes of even just washing dishes can take them out for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So where I'm saying I defend them is these people get in these groups because they're looking for other people to talk to. They're home. Oftentimes these people are not allowed to work anymore. They're home all day, and they're just getting pissed. Mm-hmm. More and more by the minute, they're getting pissed, and they just start taking it out on other people. And this is the toxicity I'm talking about, where I'm not saying that every person coming in is just someone trying to start drama, but it's just all this pent-up anger and energy, and the way they release it, unfortunately, is negatively on other people. But like I said, I've been kind of shut down on that theory before. And so being a person that moderates the biggest group for this, like, what are you seeing on the inside of it all?
I mean, it's so funny. I had some woman, comment on my book cover, and she said, looks like you're seeking attention all naked on your book cover. And I wrote back, absolutely. I said, you want someone to grab your book. And that's
called marketing.
I mean, I'm not seeking attention. I am trying to cure you, woman. So I actually went to her profile on the group, and it was funny because she wrote a post about being kind and not calling people out. And she literally, and then I wrote another comment to her. I said, I just, saying I got on your page and you're saying kindness, but you're calling me out for the way I'm dressed or whatever. But I deleted it because I didn't want to contribute to that. Yeah. So she responded back after I said, absolutely. I want people to pick up my book. I said, if you have a problem with the way I'm dressed, keep going. You don't need to comment. You do you, and boo, and I'll do me. And she said, well, I really like your pink dress. That would have been better for you in the picture. I'm like, okay, well,
sorry you didn't consult with her first.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. It's gotten to the point where I have had to back off doing any moderating. I do get contacted privately. I think we talked about this in the last, why hasn't my post been approved? And please remove this person for being negative. And I have had to put up there multiple times, hey, we do this on a volunteer basis. if you answer the rules, which are three simple questions, why are you here? For you, John, you say, I'm here to learn about MS. Are you selling anything? No. Do you agree? Yes. I would 100% admit you and let you be a part of our community, because to me, I don't have enough people that actually want to know what I'm living with or go through personally.
I can tell you right now, Julie, me or Cookie never got an invite to this group. Just saying.
Really? I'll invite you too.
I was actually just looking at it.
I'll invite both of you. There's actually, what's interesting is there's 2 groups now with the same name. And one of them is not my group. And I actually got on there yesterday to join it. And then I unfollowed it because it's enough with the one that it's literally, my phone goes off all day long. There are thousands of requests. There are thousands of people. There are people that are desperate. There are people that are, read my scans. I'm like, I'm not reading your scans. I'm not a freaking doctor. Like, why are you asking strangers on the internet to read your scans? It's mind blowing to me. But there's a lot of negativity.
Be like, yep, that's a brain. You're welcome.
Exactly. I don't know what that is. It looks like a frog. I mean, you're right. There's people that are home and now unable to leave either their beds or their couches or anything. And they're angry. And, I understand that, but this group that I moderate, we're trying to give you a space to feel safe and to not attack other people. Don't attack me for being in a one-handed handstand. I'm sorry you can't do that, but I can, and I will continue to do it until I can't. I mean, to me, moving my body is why I'm able to move my body.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's part of the help you're trying to give. They see this image of you doing the one-arm handstand, and instead of saying, hey, how can I get to that point? What can I do? And again,
I've been called a show off. I've been called, an attention seeker. And, yes, I take these pictures for attention to raise money. They're
great pictures.
Thank you. Well, I can't find the word I'm looking for. I'm very not motivated, but I'm very one-tracked about what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not your average bear. I'm not an idiot.
Well, it's like when you're driving down the highway and you see a billboard that's basically trying to get your attention, say, see, it worked. Like, it's working, and it's working. I mean, they commented on it. That's kind of the response is, well, you commented, so whatever I'm doing is working because it got your attention. Mm-hmm. So
can I go off on a quick tangent? Yeah. As far as marketing working. So I've seen recently the most brilliant marketing tactic I've ever seen in my life. And I haven't seen anybody else realize it's marketing. But have you seen the video of the McDonald's CEO eating the burger?
They're all doing it.
So here's the thing is everyone's making fun of the McDonald's CEO. But what they don't realize is McDonald's CEO did this bullshit taste testing. He got every other company to promote McDonald's and kept this video viral for over a week now. Oh, wow. McDonald's is not so stupid to just let their CEO go on and take this fake bite and do it. I think McDonald's is brilliant because they knew everyone would make fun of them, especially with Wendy's is notorious for roasting people online. So they got Burger King, Wendy's, all these local chain joints I've never heard of, all making fun of McDonald's, tagging McDonald's, hashtagging McDonald's, making fun of them. And McDonald's is sitting back, and McDonald's just got multi-million-dollar promotion of this new sandwich they're about to release here in the U.S. because the CEO made it look like he took a fake bite. I think it was all set up, and it is the most brilliant marketing tactic I have seen since Starbucks was purposely writing the wrong names on cups, so everyone took pictures of it and posted it online.
Okay, so they're getting everyone else to,
to do the hard work for them. McDonald's spent $0 on this.
I still think my favorite is when the longtime CEO of Mercedes-Benz retired and they had this big farewell for him at the Mercedes plant and all that. Mm. And when he left, he got in a BMW and drove off. And BMW was on it.
Oh, I'm sure. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
I don't think people realize that you mention someone's name, that's marketing. You mention the product, it's marketing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's been roasting.
The cover of your book is working because, I mean, as the cliche is, there's no such thing as bad press. I mean, someone's commenting on your, saying you're a show off and all this stuff. It's like, well, guess what? You saw it. You commented. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of pervy guys with MS. I'm sure if they said, I'm sorry, someone said somebody's naked on the cover of a book, they immediately went looking at the book.
Oh, John, do we need to unpack that sentence?
I'm not a
pervy guy with MS. I'm a pervy guy without MS. It's different.
I was very intentional when I did that. And I didn't know
you would have to be
that they were going to allow it. I didn't know the publishing company was going to allow it. And I had a backup and I submitted it. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? If I'm in a bookstore, I'm going to pick this up.
It's tactfully done. It's still tactfully done.
It is.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, what's the word I'm looking for? There's nothing like lowbrow about it. There's nothing like
distasteful.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. It's done really, really well.
It's photo. Yeah.
Drags attention to it. It's got your FUMS message right down the side of you.
Right.
Everyone, you look at the book, you know what it is.
I think that's the part that some of these people aren't paying attention to. They're just seeing your naked body and they're not understanding there's a message there too.
Yeah.
This is like the guy who goes online.
The message that I was trying to say is look how fucking strong I am. That's
absolutely
that, and it's like a big fuck you to MS is what it was.
Yeah.
And
you're telling you're going to fight it and you're going to fight against it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, the people that are complaining, I was about to say, it's like the person who goes online and goes on this huge racist or homophobic rant, but you go to his profile, has a Bible quote, as his in his profile from there.
Go down that alley here, are we?
That's as far as I'm going to go down that part, but it's just like the sheer irony of it is the point.
Yeah.
And how that is. And honestly, more people should look at that book cover and look at Julie's message in her book and be like, hell yeah, F you, MS.
Yeah.
And how do I get to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't know if it's jealousy or if it's envy or if it's, and
yes.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, I got all sorts of other issues. You don't want this because it comes with all of that. So, and people just don't see. And like you said, they're at home, they're in bed, they're on their couches, they're angry. I mean, this is this illness also causes, rage, and it can cause emotional, fluctuations. It can cause so many things. I mean, and for me, I live every day misunderstood. Like even the people that I thought knew me, and even people with MS don't understand me. So it's really challenging. And then I get these people in this group that, when I am literally trying to find a cure for all of us, and I don't have to because, hey, I'm fine, right? I mean, I'm not fine, but physically I have my MS under control. And it's because I spend all day, every day managing it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the internet, it's just.
And people are also seeing your high points and your good points. Like they're not
obviously
getting a peek behind the curtain.
I also I post my low points. And in fact, I have a few posts coming out. I'm very tired of social media, and it's really just mentally taking me down. And I think I said this on the last,
there was no last one. It never happened.
It never happened. It's deleted. It got lost in the cloud.
It's in the ether.
Okay. Well, now I forgot. Fuck. Okay. Well,
MS brain, everybody. There it is.
I have friends with MS.
Yeah.
This is what happened.
It's gone. Just gone.
Right.
What were we just talking about?
You were saying you have some posts coming out that show the low points.
Yeah, they do. And I've pretty much, my social media is now, cat videos and trauma therapy. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
I
Yes,
have
you did say
changed
that.
my algorithm to
Yeah,
all
yeah.
sorts of, complex PTSD shit and then cat videos. So that's,
John,
Well,
John hates cats, by the way.
I
I
love
know.
cat. What are you talking about?
John hates. I love cats. I
Hazel,
grew up
did you
with
hear
cats.
that?
John hates cats.
Did you hear that? Cookie doesn't like
See,
cats.
and you invited John to come stay at your place, and he hates
did.
cats.
There's only the doc. Where are you getting this? I hate cat stuff from.
Because you said the only cat you ever liked is the one my parents had.
I think I was kidding about that though. 'cause
My
I had a
cat, she's
growing
evil.
up.
You don't want to. She's evil. She's
But
supposed to. Anyways,
you know what? It's funny what you say about the internet being exhausting, though. I mean, I know again one of the things we talked about was with my docuseries had to be shelved because I had money raised and I removed somebody because of things and stuff they were saying that I didn't want to be a part of myself, but B, I don't want that person to be representing your entire community. And so when I said he couldn't be in it, it was a private conversation. He attacked. And the problem with social media is he was able to rally the troops and start doing all the stuff where I pause it. It's something I still want to do, which is why we were talking about me coming out there. And it's something that I want to do, not for me, not for my own personal attention, but I would love to get all the attention on you guys to showcase, hey, this is the good day, but also this is what it looks like when they're not out there going, look at my handstand and stuff like that. Like it's tough, and being friends with people and being close to people, you talk to them and you can hear the difference in their voice. You can hear the difference in, like, you may not hear from somebody by text or anything for a couple days. And it's just because they're bedridden.
right.
And people will go from running and doing handstands to having to use a walker just to use the restroom. People we all know are some days walking around, other days they're full-time in the wheelchair.
Yep.
And
It's a moment by moment thing, honestly.
Well, and this is what I gotta go back just a little bit from what you were saying, and this is kind of me, as I will do on this topic, play a little bit of devil's advocate, but I think there's truth to it for sure. Is there's a lot of the people that, well, John in particular, but I've gotten to know, including yourself and others, that are, and this is going to very much simplify things. There's obviously, it's much more detailed this, but I'm going to oversimplify it. Is there are people that are still in the fight. They're still fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to fight not even just day to day, but minute by minute. And then there's other people that have sadly given up the fight. And it's a horrible thing. And it's very sad. And I have so much empathy and sympathy for those that have kind of given up the fight. But part of and this isn't, I'm very much generalizing here. This isn't all of them, but there are a lot of these people that maybe have given up the fight are looking at what you and others that we know are doing to keep fighting and keep doing this. And like you said, it's not even jealousy. I think it's just the give up factor, saying, well, they shouldn't be able to do this either. I've given up, they should give up too. So I'm just going to give them shit. And that's where my sympathy and my empathy comes in for those making these comments. Cause I would like to think at the end of the day that's not the person they are. It's the person that this awful thing has created of them.
I mean, it changes. One of my posts is, turns friends into strangers and strangers into friends. And it's very true. Yeah. And I didn't come out of this. I continued to do everything I could do even when I came home from the hospital. So I went to hot yoga the next day. I laughed at myself because I knew it was going to be hard, and it was. Yeah. I put on my running shoes the next day and I couldn't run. So what people see is they see a photograph of me in a handstand. They don't see, me telling the photographer, I can only be ready because I can only be up here for 3 seconds right now. I'm not even supposed to be doing this right now. Yeah,
you weren't doing that for 10 minutes.
No, I'm not walking around in a freaking handstand.
Right, exactly.
But as a yoga professional or whatever, I have been doing this for 23 years, well before I was diagnosed with MS. And I am going to keep doing it as long as I can, not only for my physical health, but for my mental health. And whatever I'm doing is working for me. I can't say that what I'm doing could work for someone else, but I do know on those days where I have pushed myself to my edge, because I do listen to my body. My body dictates everything I do every single day. When I push myself to my edge and I get to that point where I feel like I'm literally going to die if I don't lay down and get horizontal, I know that there's a lot of people that feel like that all the time.
Right.
And it's very hard, like even for me who can get up and go run, you know, not a 10K, but a 5K or whatever it is, and go do an hour of yoga. I know when I feel like that, I feel like absolute hell, and I don't want to talk to you, and I don't want to be positive, because right now I just need to lay down because I feel like I'm going to die. And fortunately for me, it doesn't happen very often. And I know, you know, my energy levels, like I wear this for multiple reasons. My sleep, to keep track of my sleep. Also, I live alone. So if I fall and I can't get up, it's got like crash detection. It's got, I can call whoever I need to, just say, hey, Siri, call, you know. But when you get to that point, and there's probably a lot more people that feel like shit than don't feel like shit. Like even I have this girlfriend who I was introduced to through the Race to Race MS. She's much younger than me, but I've even like been able to.
Well, you're only 27, so I mean,
exactly.
she's got to be super young. So
the same age as my daughter. So, you know, she posts a lot on social media because she raises money. She's a jewelry designer. She's a wonderful person, great friend of mine. And I've noticed when she goes quiet, I have reached out to her. I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, no. And I said to her, I know now I need to reach out to you when you go quiet because you're not okay. And I knew this, like, you know, and I took 31 days off of posting on social media, even teaching my classes. I didn't even post anything. And it was so nice. I mean, I was on there still doing moderating stuff. And if someone would reach out to me, obviously I'm going to respond, and I wish people happy birthdays. But yeah, it's people, there's so many varying degrees of this illness, and there's so many varying degrees of people's support systems. Like, I mean, I'm so grateful. I wanted to say this before you snuck off camera before, that you two are like so interested in this for really no reason other than you've met some people that have spoke to you or inspired you. And I mean, I can't get my own fucking family to call me and say, what are you doing? Like, are you okay? Like, so I'm grateful. I'm very grateful.
Sounds like our listeners for our podcast. We can't get our friends and family to listen.
I mean, right? Like that's seriously, it's almost like I don't know what it is, why people do that. I don't know.
Well, and I think it's important. We've talked about this a few times in some of the other MS shows we've done. The physical side of it is obviously there. It's the one thing. It may very well, of those of us that don't know anything about the disease, we can at least in some ways understand the physical side of it. But the part that people don't understand, unless you're in it, is the mental health side of it. And I would say, to go on a broader point of this, and this has nothing to do with anybody with MS or anything, as you said, when someone you care about goes quiet, I don't care if you've got MS or not, check in on them.
Yeah.
You know, it could, you know, there's something, even if it's just say, hey, how you doing? Just check in. You know, that's, you know, as time has gone on, and thankfully, and, you know, John knows in the hockey world, it's become a much more important thing to talk about, especially amongst, as you said earlier, us men that don't talk about this shit, but we do, is mental health. And, you know, if someone close to you or someone you know has gone quiet, has gone silent, and they're not normally like that, check in for sure, because they're, you know, even if you're not the one that can necessarily bring them out of it, at least you know something's going on, and maybe you can find help for them.
At least you know someone cares. And it's, you know, it's really hard because when you your life isn't the same anymore when you're diagnosed with this.
Sure.
And I spend, just like I said, a lot of time being misunderstood because I look completely fucking normal. And I'm so far from that, but I have gone very quiet, and it's been interesting because I haven't had the people that I need reach out to me to check on me. And then, I wonder, well, what did I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't you care? Like, I'm 100% like, and maybe that also has something to do with how I grew up as a child and some neglect that I endured. I'm very compassionate, empathetic to people. I really am. But it gets really hard. What I do teaching yoga, I give a lot away. And it's really hard to do that sometimes when your cup isn't being refilled, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and on the other side of things, being a yoga person, someone who's so in tune with mental health and your physical health, that's the other thing I see, and the people I do worry about, like you'll see them because with MS, like your mental health can make the bad days worse. It can make, if your mental health is actually going in the right direction, it can make your bad days not quite as bad. Yeah. It's not going to take away the pain. It's not going to take away the physical struggles because there's no control over that anyway.
Let me just add to that, and we're not going to get too deep in this, but I think the two of you will know what I'm referencing at this point. And if I offend someone, I don't really give a shit. It also not forces you, but it kind of allows you to make really bad decisions. And do really stupid, immature stuff. Yeah. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing is like just keeping your mental and physical health is almost more important than the average person.
Yeah.
At this point, because like, I'll see people that are like smoking, and I'm not talking about people who like smoke weed, but like, because I know some people will alleviate the pain with that and stuff like that. But I'm talking about people that are just like still chain smoking cigarettes. Yeah. It's like you're having a hard enough time walking. Now you want to have a hard enough time breathing. And I'm not saying don't indulge in tasty food and comfort foods or anything.
Live your life.
But people who are just almost like intentionally trying to deplete their health with eating unhealthy all the time. And
that's the give up factor I was kind of mentioning earlier. And
you're just like, whatever, it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Right. And I do see a lot of hopelessness on these sites. Like I have, and not just MS sites. Like I've had friends like, I'm done here on earth. Like I can't do this anymore. I can't take the pain. And, you got to reach out to these people. Like I get it, but that's not the answer. Like that's not, but there's a lot of hopelessness in the MS community because there's really no, we have these drugs. There is no cure. There's no cure. We're getting closer. We're, figuring out what's causing it. That I think is super important to figure that out. And we need to remyelinate. You can't, these disease modifying therapies, they do help, and they do help certain people more than others, but they also come with a whole lot of side effects too. And, and again, people blindly listen to their doctors. I want you to, inject yourself and this isn't going to happen again. That's not true. It's not true.
There's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee, and there's no cure.
And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about is when you're talking about the drugs and stuff like this, the other stressor amongst this is the financial burden this puts on people. People obviously that have insurance or are on disability and get the insurance through the government is one thing, but there's a lot of people that just don't have those options. And I mean, just getting an MRI, what is the running cost of just getting an MRI these days? It
depends where you go. It could be anywhere from $6,000 to, and when you're done, I want to speak on this, but
No,
They're
yeah.
expensive.
But yeah, I mean, but the cost is a huge thing. And Cookie and I have talked about the cost of other things in live that are just going up as it is. And the oil market just opened up today with what's going on in the Middle East. So who knows what we're going to spend on gas in the next week. But, you know, with these costs, I mean, to give an idea, and Cookie, I don't know if we've ever talked about the cost of even just like when people go and get their infusions done, they usually get them like twice a year, every 6 months. People who are further into their treatment have to start going sooner because their body's almost becoming, what's the word I'm looking for? Like not immune to it, but like their body's just like becoming accustomed to it. So they have to go for infusions like sometimes 3 times a year.
Okay.
But I mean, if you're getting infusions twice a year, I think on the low end, you're spending, it's over $100,000.
Yeah, I do remember. I think we did talk about this in a past episode. Yeah, it's the financial burden is mind boggling.
It's astronomical. And it's just like, it gets you to a point where you realize people are literally dying to live a little bit longer until they die.
Yeah.
And it's just another stressor that people are always going to sit there and think about and wonder. And, you know, that's why, and the whole direction I'm going with that is when people are doing fundraisers, or if you see a fundraiser going to a major organization, that's why donating is so important.
It is.
Because that's how you maybe help somebody get treatment they can't afford it. That's how you get the research paid for to get people one step closer to finding a cure for these things.
This is a little self-serving, but I had this just this week, or this past week, and it's in my head. It sounds ridiculous to say, but it's a prime example of what you're talking about on a smaller scale. But at the same time, I'll piece all this together. But I had to go in on Thursday, and I won't mention any names, but I had to go in on Thursday to get a shingles vaccine. Well, number one, I'm 50 now, so you're allowed to do it. But also, a good friend of ours has shingles at the moment, and so
he's what, 42, 43 now? How old is he?
46.
46. That's right. He is closer in age to me. But
So he's pretty young to get it. But so I was like, we're about to be spending. I mean, we spend a lot of time together, anyways. We're about to be spending even more like close proximity time together, and I'm like, yeah, I had chicken pox, and it was not a good situation as a kid. So I'm going to get the shingles vaccine, and again, this is on a smaller scale, but literally the first thing I thought of when I was signing up to do this is like, how much is this going to fucking cost me? And that's just for a basic vaccine that you get at my age now.
Vaccines should just be free, period.
It ended up being covered, but the first thought in my head is, as someone that doesn't make much money doing what I do, going, fuck, man, can I even afford to have this that I need, you know, in general? And then my mind goes to what we're talking about here, going, that is a drop in the bucket compared to what people in, whether it's the MS community or the cancer community or whatever it is, have to deal with.
That's a meal at Five Guys versus it's a meal at Five Guys versus the new luxury mansion, you know.
Seriously. I mean,
I'm worried about this one vaccine, and that's nothing compared to what we're talking about here.
So,
and it has to do with where the financial side of the healthcare community is. It's crazy.
So what I have heard, I don't know if and being 10 years into this, I've heard that MS costs $1.6 million for a lifetime. And
I would have probably thought more.
I have already spent
some of the conversations
out of pocket. I have really great insurance, but it's very expensive. And it was before I got diagnosed, I upped my deductible to lower my premiums.
Mm-hmm. So
I have a $10,000 deductible. So those MRIs come out of my pocket.
Yeah.
So, and my, everything I do minus, you know, the doctors that I see, like my Chinese doctor that I see in California, out of pocket. All the supplements and the things that I take, out of pocket. My premium for my insurance is about $900 a month. That's insane. That's like $10,000 a year just in premiums. And I can't get rid of my insurance, even though I have to pay a lot out of pocket. I mean, when I first got diagnosed, they wanted me on this injectable medicine. And I remember, I had to wait for the specialty pharmacy to approve. They approved. They said it's going to cost 50 grand, but your copay is going to be 2,000 a month, but the drug company was going to cover the copay. But I still didn't want to go on it. But yeah, the expense is insane, and people that need caretakers. I think about that, fortunately I'm okay right now, but there could come a time, and as I'm single as fuck, that, I would need a caretaker. Like, I never expected at 57 years old that I would be single like that. But obviously life does things and things happen. And
how is this amazing woman single? That's what I want to know.
There's a lot of reasons.
I don't see him at all.
Thank you.
You know what though? Like, it's at the same time as while you're currently single, there's a lot of people with MS where, and it sounds super mean on the side of the other spouse, but maybe the person that's married to somebody with MS, it deteriorates the marriage, and then they end up getting divorced and all this other kind of stuff because, and again, it just makes the other person look horrible. Like, there's no good guy coming out of that.
No.
But it takes away everything that you got married for, and now suddenly it's just you turn into a live-in nurse.
Yeah. And
the marriages will end, or infidelity, or some other horrible things in the relationships. And it's never just like, oh, I have this, it's just on me.
Right.
This is something with humongous collateral damage when it comes to, unless you're one of the lucky ones in this perfect situation. And I say perfect situation, I mean, I say that in the loosest sense of the manner, obviously. But it's just there's so much more. And then on top of, like, okay, I'm worried about money. Now I'm also worried about my relationship and the people that I call my family. And I'm also worried about my health. I live in a house with stairs, and I have to go up the stairs to go to bed. How am I going to be able to do that soon? And all of these things some days you won't think about them. Some days all you'll do is think about all of them. And it's weighing and it's taxing. And that really is why the awareness of this is so important on a level of everything more than just, oh, I know about it. Like, good luck to those people.
Right.
But even if you don't have MS, if you don't know anybody with MS, being involved on a minimal scale for you could end up just being so much greater for the long run of things. Mm-hmm. I mean, what's the population of America alone? Like, I don't even know. It's like,
I have no idea.
It's like, it's,
I don't know.
I was gonna say like 2 billion or something like that.
He's on it.
Yeah, he is.
I can see his eyes. He's on it.
I'm on it. 342.4 million.
300. Okay, so just imagine every one of those people puts in $1. Obviously, some of them are babies. They don't have $1, but but I mean, if you just think about the average of one person, I mean, what would $330 million do for the research or for some families and stuff like that?
It could do a lot. And it's funny you say that, because I have, the last couple times I've posted since MS Awareness Month started, I said $2 from each one of my followers would take me to my goal. $2, you've just helped 3 million people. Who can say that? I just helped 3 million people today, right? So I try and make it as easy as possible. But yeah, that could, $330 million could do a lot for a lot of people. Yeah. It really could.
Yeah, and that's why these things are so important.
Yeah, let me ask this, and I don't want to presume as talking to someone who's a yoga practitioner and free spirit and all that.
I'm a very boss, free spirit, baby. I'm just kidding.
Well, where are you on like holistic medicine and things like that? And is that's
all I do? Have
you found that there's an option, for MS specifically in that area?
I mean, I'm all holistic. Honestly, I take, and my Chinese doctor that's in California, he has been the mainstay in where I go. I go to him. I mean, I have a wonderful internist here. I also have my girl doctor who I see, once a year, but my Chinese doctor in California. So I do the Chinese herbal tea, vitamin D, biotin. I just picked up some calcium supplements because I my bone density is not the greatest, but repeat your question.
No, just it's the holistic side, and
Okay, there
even
we go.
for someone
Holistic.
that- yeah, but
Holistic
even
is
for
very
someone that-
expensive, though.
Well, yeah, I guess that's part of my question too. And where's the balance between, the standard healthcare side of things and looking for a cure, and the holistic side of things, and some traditional or not so traditional, methods of trying to not only live with MS but potentially function on MS and cure.
Yeah.
From a not traditional kind of way of thinking. And I guess that brings up a separate question that I don't know if you know the answer to, is as far as, worldwide and MS patients percentage wise, where the US stacks up compared to other parts of the world.
So there's roughly a million people in the United States, and then there's another roughly 2 million worldwide. So,
Wow.
yeah. And
that
it's
just purely based on, as John mentioned earlier, more diagnosis because people are coming forward, or is there something happening in those other countries that are creating a lower percentage?
so when I first got diagnosed, I was told that there was 500,000 people in the United States, but now in the last few years, it's more like 1 million. I think there's more people because, again, people
I'm sure.
have these things that, whatever it could be, maybe it's a bum leg, or they have hearing issues, or their vision's gotten bad, and they don't even think twice that it could be
Right.
a neurological issue. So they live with it, right? You live with stuff that feels weird and off because you're not sure and you don't want to go to the doctor. And I mean, when I kept going back, I just kept saying, I hope I'm a crazy hypochondriac, because I knew something was wrong, but nobody could tell me what that was. And but holistic, I know a lot of people that do both, actually.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of friends in LA that are on Ocrevus, but they also see, one of them sees my Chinese doctor and another one sees this other functional medicine doctor. So I do know a lot of people that can do both, but again, it's also a financial thing, right? Who can afford it, who can't afford it. It's healthcare in this country is not the greatest.
Ivermectin, everything's solved.
Bleach.
Yeah,
Bleach,
bleach
I mean,
is the other thing I see. Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, bleach will definitely stop everything. If you take bleach, it will stop everything.
Stop
Oh,
it
yeah,
all.
you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do not recommend, but but and you're right though, like the healthcare, that's an obstacle that you just kind of have to live with.
Yeah.
Because there's too much money made to see.
It's not changing.
Yeah, not in our lifetime.
Anytime soon, if ever.
Yeah, there's been too much money made here, and you have other countries that are known for their free healthcare, like the entirety of the UK, but they do have privatized medicine over there as well, and people are buying insurance just because of the difference in what they're getting. And then I always laugh, like, "Oh, it's free here, but you got to wait forever." I'm like, "Well, you pay for it here, and you still got to wait forever."
Yeah.
So you're still winning when it comes to all that, but
100%.
But I think, and the moral of the story is, we've said this the last time we talked, we've said it to anybody who has MS. I mean, at the end of the day, the most important thing is you have to advocate for yourself. You have to be your strongest fighter for yourself. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that just don't have that in them. But that's going to be the difference between people who are living a little bit better with it versus the people who just sadly wither away quicker.
Yeah.
And I mean, that goes for every aspect of your life. You want a promotion at your job, you have to advocate for yourself. You want to do something in your life, you have to do it for yourself. If you're living with an illness like multiple sclerosis, you have to advocate for yourself, especially when you're going through the process of trying to get diagnosed.
Yeah.
And
that's a nightmare.
I mean, that's the thing I'm hearing most of, is like you said, it's like you went through numerous doctors and you still got diagnosed in almost record time.
I literally, like, it was August 5th, I went in for my colonoscopy, And September 6th, I was given a diagnosis. And I had been at Mayo that whole 8 days prior to that, the 6th, getting treated, getting tested. Like they tested me for everything under the sun. It wasn't just, they did 3.5 hours of MRIs. They did a spinal tap, blood, urine, everything. They did everything. And I remember being in the hospital that first day because they put me on steroids right away, like bags of steroids. And the doctor came in and he said, as far as we can tell, this is your first attack. He said, we expect it to happen again. And, we're going to give you 5 days of IV steroid infusions, and then we're going to give you a prescription for injectable meds and see you later. That's really what happened. And Mayo Clinic is the top diagnostic hospital in the country. I mean, and the doctor was great. I didn't like his bedside manner. And then I did see the doctor here in Mayo, but he didn't take my insurance. And he was the head of the MS department here in Phoenix. But, I'm not going to pay $650 every time I go to see you. I want my $60 copay. So when I'm spending all of this other money out of pocket for the holistic stuff, that is actually helping. So my vitamin D is off the charts. Most people with MS MS eats vitamin D. That's what I always say. It eats your D. Most people with MS have very low vitamin D. And vitamin D it's
such a wild thing. Like you can get natural vitamin D by being in the sun, but the heat is bad for people with MS. It's like, what a dick of a disease.
Seriously. And I take vitamin D, but I also spend not a lot of time, but a few days a week, I will go sit out back, for 30 minutes it just feels good. Vitamin D is like immunity. It's a really kind of a wonder drug, I think, personally.
Yeah, then you live in Phoenix, which is pretty much 3 degrees hotter than hell. So
it's supposed to be 97 here next week. What the hell?
Nope.
I'm excited because we're going to hit the 80s a couple days.
It's crazy. The weather. I mean, even in Santa Monica, I was looking at the weather. It's like 82 in March. What?
Yeah.
Never gets that warm by the beach. It's crazy.
Here we're going to have 80s for a couple days, and we'll be back to the 40s, and I'll be sick in bed. So I can't wait.
The weather. I mean, the weather's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy here with tornadoes and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. And the hail.
Lucky.
Oh, hail. Yeah. I got lucky with the hail.
We're supposed to get some weird storm here in Phoenix tomorrow that they said could have hail. Like
oh wow.
I've seen hail here and snow.
And you guys get those big dust storms, which are just insane.
Yeah. Those are crazy.
We had stuff like that in New Mexico a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. But Julie, I mean, I myself don't have really anything else right now. Julie, as always, it's a pleasure. We will continue to try and convince Julie to be a regular with us. It is MS Awareness Month here, and we'd love to. We kicked the idea around of Julie doing an interview with somebody and hosting a show, and just having that one-on-one conversation of somebody talking to somebody else with this illness. We'll try and facilitate that because as beautiful as me and Cliff are, I think people might be getting sick of us.
We're gonna try and get the woman
because you care.
We're gonna try and get the woman that had the nasty comment about your book cover as your first guest.
You have to interview her wearing the same outfit you had on for your book cover.
That picture was a while ago.
Yeah, you two are gonna hash this thing out. Episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
But Julie, I mean, honestly, just seeing you continue to fight through it and your whole mentality towards it, and which is the whole concept of your book, is just awesome. Cookie, do you have her book sitting right in front of you?
It's actually on my nightstand because I was reading it a little bit.
Well, we will put a link. We will put a link in the description here. Go buy Julie's book. Honestly, even just talking to her, there's so much to learn and be motivated with this whole living with MS thing, and it's I think I say this joke, I mean it's a joke, but it's true. Like I forget more about MS than I learn in any given moment, and that's just how complicated an illness like this is. So you know, living with MS, continue to do your research. If you're living without it, like myself and Cookie, just continue to learn, because you never know when you could be a helping hand to somebody. So
seriously, thank you. And like I said, I'm so grateful for you guys, just even, you know, wanting to learn. Like, that's the thing. You want for whatever reason, your interest is piqued and you want to, you know, explore this world that there's 3 million people that live in. And probably
it's
a
not
lot
whatever
more.
reason. It's not for whatever reason. It's for amazing people like you. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, the more we meet people like you that do this, it's just like it's impossible to not care about it.
Yeah.
So as much as me and Cookie like to try and pretend to be tough, I actually am tough. Cookie pretends, but I had to beat him to that. But
I'm a big teddy bear.
but you know, Cookie. I mean, but Julie, it's awesome always having you here.
Thank you.
And we'll find a way to drag you back up one of these times.
Can't wait. Seriously.
Say bye, Cookie.
Oh, bye everybody.
Bye.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, hit like and subscribe. These guys are amazing.
And she said it, so it's got to be true.
It is true.
I
I only speak the truth.
I'll send that Venmo in a second here, Julie.
Apologies to everybody for being so unbelievably bright after my light issues that happened at the start of this thing.
Hey, Cookie, it's one of the only times people are going to call you bright there, huh?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
He had to do that.
On that note.
Softball.
Thank you, everyone. You certainly did.